Hello, everyone. Welcome, and thank you to you all for joining this session where we're going to explore the journey from ServiceNow to Jira Service Management. We'll just start with some brief introductions. So my name is Adam Jackson. I am the Global Head of Enterprise Service Management at Valiantys. I've worked in service management for well over a decade now, and my specialty is focusing on how we provide enterprise service management platforms to our customers.
Hello, my name is Gaspar Aguilar. I've been in the ITSM market for around 20 years now. I'm an ITSM and ITIL accredited trainer since ITIL version 2, and I've been implementing all ITSM platforms out there for many, many years. Yeah, thank you for being here today.
Hey, Amanda Bast here. I've been implementing ITSM solutions for the past 8 years, and I'm super excited to be here. I'm also a solutions architect at Atlassian as well.
Hi there, my name is Rachel O'Neill, and I'm a pre-sales solution engineer as well as the ITSM lead at Valiantys. I've been in IT for about 25 years and working with the Atlassian stack as both a customer, a builder, and now as a sales agent for the last 13 years. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for joining us.
Hey everybody, my name is Wade Cornett. I am our delivery director of VSM here in North America. I'm both Atlassian and ITIL certified and have about 4 years of experience in the Atlassian ecosystem.
Brilliant. Thanks all. So we've got quite an exciting agenda to run through today. First of all, you're going to meet Valiantys. We're then going to talk to you about why Jira Service Management. We're then going to talk a little bit about JSM in action, how our risk-based approach to transformation suits our customer base, how we would help and support you build a business case. We'll talk about end user adoption, and then we'll talk about our ServiceNow to JSM migration cohort. We'll finish with a bit of a Q&A, so you've got time to ask any questions in the chat, and we will respond to as many as possible during the time that we have. So maybe this is clear from the fact that both Atlassian and Valiantys are on this call, but in case it's not, the Valiantys approach is to always be working very closely with Atlassian, and we believe the strategy is most advantageous to our customers. It's actually why we're 100% dedicated to the Atlassian ecosystem. We were the first partner with all 3 specializations, so they're pictured at the bottom across ITSM, cloud, and agile at scale. And we were the first, as I say, in the Atlassian ecosystem to achieve those. We hold the world's largest collection of Atlassian certifications, and that's because we have team members all over the world. I myself am based in Newcastle in the northeast of England, and our organizations that we work with are truly global. And the Atlassian platform is this incredible way to collaborate with your colleagues. And this often means that with services, you'd benefit from a partner as global as Atlassian. You may also recognize a familiar face in the picture. This is not my vanity seeping through. Our marketing team thought this would be a hilarious addition to the slides, and I can assure you all that I've contacted HR, legal, and every other power that I have access to raise complaints. In terms of how Valiantys can help you, we've created a one-stop shop for all things Atlassian. So we do IT consulting, complementary licensing services, and our full stack engineering team means we can integrate and develop anything. We also have managed services and a comprehensive training offering. And we've got an approach that allows for continuous organizational growth and transformation using the Atlassian system of work, which we'll come on to in a little while. So the big question really is, why Jira Service Management? We'll start with a little bit of industry analysis feedback. And of course, with Atlassian and Atlassian on the call, we are going to tell you that Jira Service Management is great. And it is. But let's focus on what the industry analysts are saying. These excerpts are actually pulled directly from the latest Forrester Wave report on ESM. We've highlighted simplifies team collaboration, cross-departmental collaboration, flow of knowledge, unites knowledge workers across divides. And so let me show you a little bit about how that happens. The Atlassian system of work, Gaspar and Amanda will be going into in a little bit more detail, but ultimately what it provides is a seamless integrated platform allowing for ITSM and ESM teams, software development teams, and strategy and planning teams to merge in one single stack. With analytics, Atlassian Analytics and Enterprise Insights, it provides deep data and information for customers. And then there's a teamwork and collaboration foundation layer, which includes Jira, Confluence, Loom, Rovo, and Trello. In terms of security and user management, Atlassian have launched a product called Guard, which again fits seamlessly into this ecosystem, into this stack to provide an integrated way for organizations to run using the power of the Atlassian platform. As I've said, Gaspar and Amanda will talk through that in a little bit more detail later on in the webinar. All right, so Forrester highlights Atlassian's unified service management approach, and we know there are problems with silos within organizations, and I want to share a few examples of why that's important. In 2013, Target had a data breach. There were warnings, but the system was siloed and ITSM was isolated from incident management. And ultimately, this disconnected approach to service management exacerbated the problem. It led to a delayed response, which made things much worse, and they lost millions of dollars when an outage occurred. When a breach occurred. For a more recent example of how silos can stretch across multiple organizations, let's look at the CrowdStrike vulnerability patching issue of 2024, which saw the skies empty on a global scale. I remember seeing on LinkedIn there was a heat map that showed planes over the US as yellow dots and how quickly they all disappeared as flights were grounded. This was originally caused by a Microsoft issue that led to CrowdStrike putting in an emergency patch, and the impact of which was not fully understood at the time. Ultimately, planes were grounded, and the full repercussions of the issue are still to be understood. Holistic value stream mapping that can be continuously tracked is vital to a successful service management organization, and Atlassian provides a platform to do just that. Finally, there was the General Motors recall in 2014. There wasn't enough visibility around incident and problem management, meaning that key decision makers didn't see the complete view of what was happening with their vehicles. And after all was said and done, with recalls, repairs, and victim compensation, I think they spent over $5 billion as a result of this issue. All this is to say, Atlassian is a leader in enterprise service management because of its built-in ability to unite knowledge workers across functional divides. I'm now absolutely delighted to hand over to my good friends at Atlassian, Amanda and Gaspar. Amanda first, to talk in detail about the Atlassian system of work. I'm getting used to the fact that I've actually been working in service management for over a decade now, and that my university days are becoming a far and distant memory. But in that time, I've actually experienced many different versions of approaches to service management. And my opinion is the Atlassian system of work is the strongest. And I'll let Amanda now explain how that works.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. So high velocity service management is Atlassian's innovative approach to service management, and it's designed to accelerate the DevOps flow and empower service delivery across your enterprise. By uniting all teams onto a single platform, it facilitates a faster response to changes and incidents, which is crucial for today's technology businesses. As enterprise continue to grow in adopting a digital focused strategy, the value of an integrated service management tool like JSM on a platform like Atlassian becomes essential in driving efficiencies and improving service experiences across your organization. So let's level set on what brought us here. There are new realities that are shaping the way we work these days, and operating on a unified system of work is more important than ever. So we hear leaders routinely bring up these three topics. There's a lot of hype around AI, but how do we use it? How do we implement it in our organization? How do we make our teams more efficient by using it? How do we keep our teams effective in a remote or hybrid or in-person world? And how do we maintain productivity in this distributed structure? And tool sprawl and data is a constant battle against silos within your organization. So how can we optimize our technology and ensure that our teams are able to work together easily? So these themes and questions reflect real challenges faced by organizations worldwide. And when we surveyed Fortune 1000 executives, we found that the challenges like low productivity, a lack of alignment to their goals aren't just isolated issues. They're really the core issues to teamwork problems that we at Atlassian have been tackling for over 20 years. And to help every customer, we've distilled our insights into a single philosophy. We've learned that success requires everyone across the business to be aligned and working in harmony, not just the technical teams. So this includes the back office, the front office, your leadership teams, marketing teams. We believe that everyone in the building has to be involved. So how do you bring technology and business teams together and build a system of work across your organization? Well, we believe in 3 key principles. So if all teams align work to goals and those are visible across the organization, your company is going to focus on the right things. Secondly, when your team has a shared understanding of the who, what, when, and how behind the work, your progress is inevitable. And lastly, knowledge is everywhere, yet nowhere. So when teams can build and share and harness their knowledge across your organization, they can achieve collective growth. So these principles form what we call the system of work, and that's for how your teams can work across both technology and business teams and coordinate all the moving parts across your business. The Atlassian portfolio delivers products as well as practices that drive specific behaviors that can bring all of your teams together. And when you do that consistently, you'll observe a faster time to value, more engaged teams, and a higher return on your investments. So let's look at this a little differently. At the heart of the system of work is the teamwork foundations, covering those 3 principles that we just talked about: aligning your work to goals, planning and tracking your work, and unleashing knowledge. The teamwork foundations apply to all teams. And once your teams are all built on the same foundation, your specialized teams can go deeper while knowing that everything connects to the greater system of work. So your leadership teams can drive enterprise portfolio planning and management and can connect your outputs to outcomes. Product and development teams can discover new ideas and build software that aligns to the cross-functional goals and projects. And your IT operations and support teams can support customers and better respond to incidents by tapping into a single source of organizational-wide knowledge. All of this is supported by the products within our portfolio: Jira, Confluence, Loom, and Rovo for teamwork foundations, Jira Align for your enterprise strategy and planning, Jira, Compass, Bitbucket, and Jira Product Discovery for your software developers, and Jira Service Management for your high-velocity service management. So now that we've laid down the foundation of the Atlassian system of work and how that can drive efficiency across your entire organization, I'm going to pass the mic off to my peer, Gaspar, and he's going to dive into the thing that brought us all here in the first place: high-velocity service management.
Thank you, Amanda. And yes, before starting, I want to show all of you this quote from Gartner, that companies will overspend around $2 billion on used ITSM features by 2026. So it is very important for companies to consider a solution with a good balance between features and price. And we're absolutely sure that JSM can give that. And for companies implementing JSM, they will see some of the following benefits. First, we well know that Atlassian was born in the software development world, so no surprise that we're great there. So linking dev with ops flows is one of the core benefits that our customers will see when integrating Jira Service Management to their ecosystem. But it also can help companies streamline service management practices all around the company. So many organizations within the company, many areas within the company are service areas, and sometimes they don't even know so. So they really need to track work, to receive requests from different stakeholders, either internally or externally, and track the work until those requests are delivered. And that's where JSM is very good at, helping customers implementing those internal workflows to capture service requests and track the work until they are completed within the agreed timelines. JSM can also help company deliver value fast. And here, it's very important to know that JSM is very easy to set up and administer. That doesn't mean that companies can do it 100% themselves. They will usually need a solutions partner to help them implement the tool, and for sure they will need help migrating their data from other systems. However, once the system is in place, it is very simple to maintain. And I come from a service management world, and I can tell you an example of a company here in Canada where we used to freeze everything for 3 months a year just to prepare the yearly upgrade of our ServiceNow instance. Okay, you don't have this problem with Jira Service Management. That's why we have already this many customers out there in the world trusting Jira Service Management. And again, I want to reiterate what Adam mentioned earlier about the analysts and what they're saying about us. So Forrester is granting us that leader category in the 2023 way for enterprise service management. And we're also a leader according to Gartner in their Magic Quadrants. Okay, and how all this comes together. So first, on the software development teams, Jira Service Management is a great platform for them to be able to track work in a more ordered fashion. So it helps, for example, IT managers to track incidents back to the potential software package that was released and may potentially be causing the incident. So you can see in a single pane of glass all the history from when the software was coded, released, posted into prod, and then if it generated certain issues, then you can track those issues back to that moment and then assign an incident to the right developer who was involved in this release. It can also help developers capture the requirements since a very early stage. In the modern IT operations area, JSM simplifies the IT ecosystem. And I used to work with companies like IBM, where we had like monitoring tools and then ITSM tools in separate products with very different interfaces. You can simplify this with Jira Service Management. You can integrate your monitoring systems and have automatic triage of those alerts, automatic noise reduction of those alerts, all within the same tool, and then organize your shifts and notify the right people who will be called into a conference, for example, or a war room to solve the incident that is going on. All of that in a single platform. Finally, on the modern support side, on how we help business teams, JSM has a very simple and nice service request interface where end users can go, consume knowledge, check the portfolio of requests and incidents they can raise. They can access knowledge from there and do all of that from the same platform. And not only that, we have artificial intelligence embedded in the platform. So for these three aspects, we can use generative AI to help software developers code faster and test faster. In the AI ops, you can triage and reduce the noise coming from alerts using AI. So the system will review all the alerts and group them together by the ones that are related to the same root cause. That will make the operation way more efficient. And in the AI service realm, we have, for example, virtual agents, or the self-service portal has a feature where users can submit a request in any language, and the system will bring answers from the knowledge base, regardless of the knowledge where the language where the knowledge was written. It can translate and bring the right knowledge in the right language. And I guess that this is it from my side. I will pass it over to Rachel, and she will tell you about how to start a transformation from a tool like ServiceNow to Jira Service Management.
Thank you, Gaspar. I really appreciate it. So let's talk about getting started with our transformation. First, we have to start at the start. We have to begin this transformation. It's important to note that this is not about just transferring data from one tool to another. It's embracing the opportunity to redefine how your organization operates and to improve processes wherever possible. Changing or adding a new enterprise tool is never as easy as we would like it to be. When we change from one platform to another, it's important to remember that opportunity of transformation. Things that aren't working well, we may be able to streamline and improve within the new tool. Setting the foundation right the first time is crucial. I can't tell you how many clients we've had that have come back to us after a self-install of a product, and they come back to us needing help to raise that foundation and re-pour it. It's not about building exactly what you had. It's about taking advantage of the new platform to redefine how we do things. Let's talk about strategies and methods. When we start these discussions with clients, some organizations know right off the bat that they're looking to migrate away from ServiceNow. Others are not sure if it's possible, or they want to start the journey knowing that they're looking for what we call the coexist model. Both are perfectly acceptable, and we're happy to help with both options. And we can even help you make that decision. Changes like this can also be expensive from a disruption scenario. And that's why Valiantys employs a risk-based approach where we can help you mitigate those inherent risks associated with a change like this. Typically, there are two main ways to go about this. One is a lift and shift, or a straight migration from ServiceNow to Jira Service Management, leaving the legacy tool behind. This involves moving all data, workflows, and processes from ServiceNow to JSM, sometimes in a single immediate transition, i.e. a big bang, or through phased approaches as well. One pro to this is a clear transition. Once that migration is complete, the organization is fully on one platform. This can simplify governance, reporting, and user management. There's no need to maintain two separate systems. Also, reduced ongoing costs, because it can be difficult to have two separate platforms working at once, even just from a cost standpoint. The other option is a coexist model. So ServiceNow and Jira Service Management running side by side. In a coexist model, both systems run in parallel for some time, often with the goal of gradually transitioning teams from or functions from ServiceNow to Jira Service Management. One pro for this is there's some reduced risk, especially if some clients are just not sure of what that's going to look like from a finality standpoint once we get all the way into JSM. This reduces that risk. It allows for a smoother transition since teams can continue using ServiceNow while the migration process is happening. And if issues arise with Jira, users can still rely on ServiceNow as a fallback. But we typically see that once we start these coexist models, that the push to transform and move everything off of ServiceNow tends to increase quickly and accelerate quickly. It's important to keep in mind that even with a coexist model, there will likely be some migration of data. Now I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Wade, and then we'll get back to me in just a second.
Yeah, so as we look at this example risk analysis, and please keep in mind, this is an oversimplified example of potential use cases. I want to emphasize that our goal is to be fully transparent about potential risks in a transformation from ServiceNow to Jira Service Management. Moving on to JSM involves more than just technical migration. It's about ensuring that your organization can operate smoothly and achieve not only the same, but greater levels of functionality and service excellence. And, it's natural to worry about losing familiar features or established functionalities. Our teams work with your stakeholders to help identify these gaps early in the planning stages. And where necessary, we implement customizations in Jira Service Management to fill these gaps or optimize existing processes such as Atlassian Marketplace applications to enhance Jira Service Management's capabilities, ensuring that your teams have the tools that they need to excel. Ultimately, we approach this transformation with a comprehensive risk-based strategy to ensure alignment and transparency at every phase. Our goal is to make sure that risks are mitigated and you as leaders and decision makers feel comfortable and excited about your journey to Jira Service Management. Back to you, Rachel.
Thank you so much, Wade. So let's talk about change management and adoption. For a Jira Service Management implementation to be successful, we found two things need to be true. One, we need clear alignment of service management goals to your business goals. And two, a commitment to end user adoption. And the next two slides will talk about both of these items. So building a business case, how do we make sure that your strategic business goals align with how you're providing service management? In that case, we're going to help you build a business case for this. We're going to help you with a cost benefit analysis. So we're going to identify the cost savings with an ROI and TCO calendars. We're going to highlight efficiency gains from moving from ServiceNow to Jira Service Management, of which there are typically many of them, even depending on the different types of clients we see in the different industries they serve. We'll also be aligning with the business goals. We're looking for things like improved response times, increased collaboration between teams and businesses and business departments. Uniting development with operations is very important and often overlooked as well. And expanding service management outside of just IT into the wide world of enterprise service management, which Jira Service Management is ready to take on at any time. And end user adoption. How do we ensure end user adoption? One of the main ways we do that is training. Training isn't just a checkbox at the end of an implementation. User adoption is key to ensuring your organization is achieving the highest ROI possible out of your Atlassian tools. And to do that, the people working within these tools need to know what they're doing at all times. They need to know the ins and outs of what their processes look like and how they can be part of that service management journey. Valiantys has comprehensive training programs that consider all of the diverse ways that people learn, including reading, watching, hearing, and practicing, often within your own instance that we've built out for you.
Great, thanks, Rachel. So we've talked a lot about the system of work, Valiantys' approach to migration, and the benefits of Jira Service Management. Now we're going to focus a little bit more on the ServiceNow cohort. So what actually is it? Now, the idea of this cohort is to put organizations together who are in the same position and are facing similar challenges with ServiceNow so they can learn from each other. Valiantys and Atlassian are committed to helping this cohort thoughtfully explore the decision to move to JSM or not, and specifically equip them with complementary training, access to our experts, and really access to each other. Now, from our perspective, this cohort is an opportunity for us to gather real-world feedback, fine-tune our processes, and make our ServiceNow to JSM playbook even stronger. Specifically, we're focused on change management, ensuring that our partners, that is the organizations who join us in the cohort, have everything they need to not only succeed, but also to minimize the inherent disruption that comes with any change, including upgrading your enterprise ServiceNow management strategy. Rachel touched on it before there. Change can be painful. What we're looking to do is ensure that we're giving you the right tools, the right ideas, and the right approaches to minimize that pain if you decide to transition from ServiceNow to JSM. So you might be asking, what's the catch? Really, there isn't a catch. So this is a unique opportunity for those of you currently using ServiceNow that are considering either complementing your ServiceNow management strategy with Jira Service Management or replacing ServiceNow altogether. Do you have to commit to implementing JSM to be included? No, you don't. You have to commit to working with Valiantys to be included? Absolutely not. And does it cost money? No, it's absolutely free. So why join the ServiceNow to JSM cohort? Well, we've designed it to support every level of your organization in any potential transition journey. From your admin teams, we have a technical talk track that's full of in-depth sessions. These are specifically designed to give you, your technical folks, the hands-on guidance they need to not only assess your ServiceNow management as a possible solution, but also to support the platform if it's implemented and transitioned to Jira Service Management. We're talking workshops, labs, and access to the new change management materials that are created during the program, which is based on the needs shared by partner and organizations of the cohort, along with exclusive discounts on trainings, if that is of interest to you. On the other side, we've got our leadership track, which is all about strategy. It addresses high-level topics such as change management, digital transformation, data hygiene, governance, and emerging technologies for your potential journey to Jira Service Management. So why does this actually matter for Valiantys and Atlassian? And there's quite a lot that is valuable to us, and it really all circles back to benefit you, our partners. First and foremost, the cohort is about building strong, long-lasting relationships. We're not just here for your migration business. We're here for the long haul to partner with your organization. And by working closely with you throughout this process, we are laying the groundwork for a partnership that goes way beyond just a transactional relationship. Every organization we meet helps us continuously improve your real world experience and feedback and your adjustment. Each organization we work with helps us refine our approach, making future customer experiences even better. And lastly, this cohort strengthens the partnership between Atlassian and Valiantys. And by joining forces on this initiative, we're able to offer you the best possible support. You're not just getting one dedicated team, you're getting two working in synergy to support your long-term success. As you can see from this webinar, we're very committed to working together, hence we're on this together. Let's wrap up by looking at some of the key milestones we've got planned for the cohort. So we've designed each step to guide you smoothly through the cohort. So this from ServiceNow to JSM webinar is the official kickoff, and hopefully we've given you a solid overview of what to expect during a migration. In December, we'll move to hosting a Q&A session to address any additional questions or concerns about the cohort initiative. And it's all about making sure everyone's on the same page before we really dive in. In January, it'll mark the official start of the cohort. What we'll do is we'll have a kickoff event followed by some one-on-one sessions. And in March, we're going to be hosting an in-depth migration workshop and our first customer advisory board session. On this session, you'll really start to dig into the nitty-gritty and collaborate with your peers. April and May bring our private JSM boot camps and the first peer lunch provided by us. It's a great chance to network and learn from each other. And by June, you'll be able to meet Atlassian product managers. They'll want to hear your feedback and learn from your experiences to modify the approach. We'll also be having our second CAB session to keep that feedback loop going strong. And in September, we'll have another peer lunch. It's an opportunity to connect, share best practices, and discuss the journey. And finally, we'll wrap things up in October 2025 with an in-person reception and our final customer advisory board session. It's time to celebrate your successes and reflect on the journey we've been taking together. And remember, each of these milestones is designed to support you every step of the way, and we're committed to ensuring your success. Hopefully you can see that from the content of this webinar. We're now going to open up for a Q&A for anyone who is wanting to ask any questions. I do feel like I've done a lot of talking, and if you ask my colleagues, it's quite a common theme. So I'm really interested to hear any thoughts and feedback from the audience.
No questions?
Hey, Adam, if I wanted to sign up, how would I do that?
So we're going to be sending out some information after the call with full instructions on how to sign up to the cohort. There'll be a comprehensive email with a pack that describes in more detail what the cohort involves, and instructions for how to sign up will be in there as well.
Great, thank you.
I can see a hand up there. I don't know if you can open the microphone or.
We are ready to start the POC. Great, Rob, we'll sign you up.
I think it's Garrett who's got his hand up, actually. One of our wonderful ARM team.
Hey, I see that the chat is disabled, so I don't know if any of our joiners are able to ask questions in that way, because on my end I can't.
So there is a question and answer area as well, and I see one question from Rob Watkins, and he's saying that we're ready to start the POC. Can we share the Forrester report we've been quoting? Definitely. Are our cohort meetings and sessions time zone specific? That's a great question. Adam, do you have an answer for that one?
I believe they're all going to be suitable for the US, so the North American market.
One question here is, you mentioned many functions such as a self-service portal, incident management, knowledge base, and auto triage. Do you have to buy different licenses to get all the features? No, you don't. One major difference between ServiceNow and Jira Service Management is everything is in the same tool package. We don't purchase additional modules. There is no need for developers for this as well. It is all contained in one tool. For all of everything that you're asking here, that is all contained in a premium or enterprise tier of Jira Service Management. Standard does not include some of those things, such as AI, some of the auto triage. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Gasper as well to continue answering the question.
Oh, I think you answered it pretty well.
Okay.
There's no additional information.
Is AI in JSM released already? Yes, absolutely. So within Premium and Enterprise, there are several different AI features, including one that helps you create custom fields from scratch, gives you really great recommendations. You can also create automation rules using natural language, which is such a cool feature with AI. And you can also get proactive pieces within AI as well. There are several different things that we would love to talk to you about on a call about, specifically about AI. Atlassian is putting so much investment into the AI piece of this because they and us, we understand that this is going to be crucial in proactive service management and enterprise service management going forward in the future. Is there a ServiceNow versus JSM cost comparison anywhere? I think we have a couple of pieces that we can share. It's certainly going to depend on what your current installation of ServiceNow looks like. How much of the tool are you utilizing? And are there pieces of JSM that you will utilize that you're not currently utilizing in ServiceNow? It really is a 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But typically, in terms of licensing, we're talking about a much lower footprint cost, dependent again on how many agents we're talking about and who needs access to the tool. So it's really going to, in a nutshell, depend on what your use cases are. But I don't believe I've ever once seen any use case where JSM was more expensive than ServiceNow, ever. So. Any other questions? So hello, are there plans for a specific cohort for organizations that are primarily in GMT and Europe time zones at all? Go ahead, I'm gonna let Adam answer that. I'm sure that we can offer that, but I don't know if that's on the table right now.
So this is the pilot at the moment. We are planning some other initiatives in the European time zones going forward, specifically around supporting ServiceNow to JSM migrations. But the cohort is currently only launched in the US time zones at the moment. But as I say, with myself being based in Europe, I've got a big focus on ServiceNow to JSM migrations as part of our practice. So we're more than willing to have individual chats and look at how we can support people as well and replicate the material and share it going forward. So just because the time zones are not right doesn't mean we can't reuse the material and support in conversations as well.
One thing also I wanted to just add upon in terms of what's included in Jira Service Management as opposed to ServiceNow. While Jira Service Management is a complete tool end-to-end and there's no need to purchase anything additional, there is, however, a large marketplace filled with lots of different plugins and add-ons to enhance your experience if you're looking for something specific that needs a bigger experience. So there are, and they're licensed much like they are with Jira Service Management. One agent equals one license, one use of the actual application equals a license as well. So we'll be happy to talk to you about that. But again, it's not necessary to purchase any marketplace apps or add-ons to have a fully functioning and effective Jira Service Management experience.
And Rachel's completely right. And that doesn't just apply to the IT market, where I know obviously a lot of platforms have been focused in the past because of the extensibility in the low code, no code base, the ease of maintenance that Gaspar touched on earlier as well. Yeah. We are building, and we have seen many effective use cases across the likes of HR, facilities, payroll, finance as well. So you're not purchasing an ITSM tool. What you're purchasing is a full suite of a system of work, as Gaspar and Amanda described, that encompasses the ability to service your entire service management organization in a single code base. without having the added cost of adding extra modules and extra license costs per department. As Rachel said, it's a license to agent ratio rather than a module multiplier that's added on.
One other thing I wanted to mention too is a lot of our customers, when they come to us, already have Jira software and Confluence. For a lot of our customers, Jira Service Management really is the missing piece to the entire platform that they're utilizing. And the nice thing about bringing in JSM when you're already an Atlassian customer is seamless integration between all three products. Being able to immediately spur tickets within Jira software products, let's say for incidents or change requests, being able to push code to production throughout Jira software, and then closing tickets within Jira Service Management, adding narrative into Confluence pages, adding Confluence content into JSM tickets for additional narrative for your teams. It's just the knowledge is everywhere, but within the Atlassian stack, it's very much contained and connected. So just wanted to mention that as well. As opposed to when you're using ServiceNow, you're often using something else like maybe Asana, Monday.com. That's not on the same platform as ServiceNow. And the connections between those two can get expensive and clunky, as opposed to utilizing JSM when you're already part of the Atlassian tool set. It's much, much easier to connect these both teams and the work together.
Yeah, agreed.
Any other questions or comments?
Currently not.
Okay, I think we can thank all of our panelists for joining today, and obviously all of the audience for joining as well. As I've said, the information will be sent out very soon in terms of how you can sign up for the cohort. We're here and ready for conversations with all of you at different stages, as well as hopefully connecting you all together to help you help each other along on the journey. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us for this session, and we'll hopefully look forward to speaking to you soon.